Our next speaker represents the 3rd Congressional District of Arkansas, which I had the pleasure of visiting last year. Congressman, I greatly appreciate your invitation and your warm Arkansas hospitality. A freshman member of Congress, he sits on the Appropriations Committee and is the Vice Chair of the Energy and Water Development Subcommittee. Please join me in welcoming my friend, Congressman Steve Womack.
Thank you, Arun. What a great honor it is to be before this distinguished group to make this brief introduction. And let me just say before I get to the matter at hand that I'm a fan of ARPA-E. I'm a freshman member of Congress. I'm so new to Congress that when I get on an airplane today, knowing what the approval ratings are of Congress, I tell people that during the day I'm a trial lawyer and I sell cars at night. But since I've come to Congress, and because the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Hal Rogers of Kentucky, asked me to take the prestigious position of second chairing the Energy and Water Development Subcommittee, I've learned a lot about what you folks already know. So it is a great honor for me to be before you today to make this introduction. And let me say that as a member of Congress, that if we are going to reduce our dependency on foreign sources of energy, if we're going to reduce emissions, and if indeed we're going to improve energy efficiency and claim or reclaim, if you will, our leadership in the sector, it will be through programs that find their genesis in ARPA-E. And I am a big fan of Arun Mujumdar and glad to call him my friend. I've had the great honor of knowing the gentleman who is about to speak to you for a number of years. Not too long ago, I was his mayor. Before I came to Congress, I presided over the city of Rogers, Arkansas, and one of my constituents was this gentleman named Lee Scott. When I became mayor, Lee was the CEO of a small five and dime in northwest Arkansas, and he told me that now that you're mayor, I want you to know what I need. And ready for something about trash pickup or a pothole in front of his house, he says to me, one of the biggest challenges I have in running the world's biggest company is how to recruit and retain the people to a very inconspicuous place in northwest Arkansas. So, Mayor, we are behind in quality of life and in certain types of amenities, and I am telling you that it is your job to fix it. And so along the last 12 years, during his tenure as CEO, we did some amazing things in northwest Arkansas, and for those of you that haven't been there or haven't been there lately, you ought to come back and see it, as Dr. Mujumdar has, a terrific transformational existence there, in excess of $1 billion in development in a very, very small area of the midsection of our country. It was during Lee Scott's tenure as CEO at Walmart that America was introduced to a true transformation in the sustainability effort. And when you think about it, it only makes sense that if a company like Walmart could change something like, champion something like everyday low pricing or live better initiatives influencing the retail paradigm, it could do the same thing in sustainability, something Lee Scott is widely known for. He established lofty goals for renewable energy. He sought a zero waste standard for his company. He challenged his company's truck fleet to doubling efficiency by 2015, and he championed the sales of products that sustain people and the environment. Lee had great ideas, and he had a platform on which he could truly influence change. in people and in business. It's precisely why Walmart has been successful in other matters, to include health care, and specifically its prescription drug program that has saved customers over $2 billion. Not long ago, I heard this gentleman address a group of 40 under 40 leaders from every sector in Arkansas, from health care to government to entrepreneurial development. And I got to tell you that if you are part of an organization that is looking for somebody to motivate a group of leaders through a terrific message of leadership and management principles, there's your guy. His remarkable success in leading Walmart and his extraordinary ability to champion solutions for some of business and industries and indeed our world's most complex issues facing our economy today put him in very rare company. It is a great honor to introduce to you this morning my friend H. Lee Scott.
That's what you get when you vote for a person multiple times and help fund their campaigns. I will always think of you, though, as mayor, and I apologize for that, but what a great mayor Steve Womack was. So thank you very much. And thanks to all of you for inviting me to speak with you today. I'm honored to be here, and not just because of the quality of presenters that you have scheduled, but I do, in fact, respect what each of you do every day. I'm here because of my relationship with Fluidic Energy, where I serve as the chairman. For those of you who may not know, Fluidic Energy is an energy storage company based in Phoenix, Arizona. It is the first in the world to have solved the long-standing issues and challenges with rechargeable metal-air batteries. And Fluidic is presently game-changing the cost of storage. By transforming how energy is stored, we'll transform how energy is in fact used, where it's generated, from which natural resources, from what it emits, how it's transmitted, and when it's used. As we do that, we will improve the lives of millions of people around the world. Consider the impact of affordable energy on the world's billion most least fortunate. Consider the impact on the environment and the future sustainability of our planet. My point is that I bet all of you in this room are just as excited about what you are doing as we are at Fluidic. Whether you're an executive, a researcher, an investor, or a policymaker. And I love that about this industry and respect you for it. Before I go on my remarks, I wanted to talk a little bit about ARPA-E, because I believe it is going exactly in the right direction and addressing exactly the right kinds of problems. You're taking on the grand challenges and how they affect people, how businesses use and store energy. I'm talking about more efficient ways to move or prevent the movement of heat, convert raw materials to engineered materials, and reduce the use of rare earth and precious resources in everyday energy conversion devices. ARPA-E should retain the focus on looking for innovators who focus on changing the game, not simply playing the existing game in their chosen field. As Robert Browning said, but a man's reach should exceed his grasp. That's true for ARPA-E. In order to achieve game changes in energy, we need to fund efforts that touch the boundaries of current understanding, and only then will we hit upon the innovations that advance our society. Now you may be thinking, what in the world is a former CEO of Walmart, the world's largest corporation, doing so involved in an energy storage company and interested in ARPA-E? The answer can actually be found in Walmart's sustainability story. And that's what I'd like to take a few minutes to cover with you. In many ways, the Walmart story is a story of a sustainability startup, trying new things, learning valuable lessons, and in the end, making a big difference. I'd like to start with the results that Walmart has achieved with sustainability over these past several years. From a 2005 baseline of existing stores, clubs, and distribution centers, Walmart has reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by more than 10%. Since 2006, when Walmart pledged to sell 100 million compact fluorescent light bulbs, it has actually sold over 500 million compact fluorescents. That alone saves energy equal to 6.5 million cars being taken off the road and 10 power plants taken off of the grid. From a 2007 baseline, the company has reduced its plastic bag wastage by 21%. That's 3.5 billion bags of 48 million pounds of plastic that did not end up in landfills or attached to a barbed wire fence. Walmart China has engaged over 750,000 farmers in our direct farm program. These farmers, the majority of which are women, have learned how to scale their production and practice sustainable methods. That's good for their incomes. It's good for the environment because there are no middlemen. It's good for pricing. And this is one of my favorites. And I think we have the result is, with our trucking organization, it is estimated that Walmart has shipped 335 million more cases of goods, but has driven 300 million fewer miles in the last few years. It's amazing. And it was done because of reducing packaging, working on palletization, and truck routing. So how did Walmart get those results? In so many directions. And it's now going with sustainability. You know, we really started to get serious in late 2005. We had done real work leading up to that point. We did a lot of listening to really great environmental NGOs and their leaders. They gave us great advice. It allowed us to tap their expertise. And in fact, a couple of them now even admit that they helped us. But there was one event that really pushed us from the learning process into taking action. And that was Hurricane Katrina. As we all know, Katrina was one of the worst disasters in the history of the United States. At Walmart, we had several feet of water in many of our area's stores. We had associates who lost everything, including loved ones. Yet those associates and our entire company rallied and responded quickly and effectively. We leveraged two of our greatest strengths, our people and our logistics, to deliver supplies that hurricane victims so desperately needed. We saw our full potential to serve not just our customers, but our communities, our countries, and even the world. And we saw our opportunity and our responsibility. And we ask ourselves, how can we be that company, that Walmart that we were during Katrina all of the time? Sustainability became a big part of that answer. Now let's fast forward 7 years and I'll share with you 3 of the lessons that we have learned at Walmart. First, sustainability has to be top down and bottom up. What I mean is that leadership has to drive the changes necessary to make sustainability a priority. I was very fortunate to have a chairman of the board and a board who really got it and who pushed me to get it. At the same time, many of our best ideas have come from our frontline associates. You go out and walk the stores, and there's a tremendous amount of pride in what their company is doing to lead on sustainability. Creating that energy within the culture makes a huge difference in the ability to accomplish the goal. Second, sustainability has to be sustainable. I am not shy about saying that I am not an environmentalist. I care about the environment. I care about companies being socially and environmentally responsible. I care deeply about the world that I will leave to my grandchildren. But at the end of the day, I am a business person. And at Walmart, we built sustainability into the business. As a result, it doesn't go away when the economy is tough and budgets are tight. It doesn't go away when the company changes the CEO. Because there's a business benefit and alignment, the business model, sustainability is sustainable at Walmart. The last lesson that I'll share with you is this. Don't get trapped by false trade-offs. When we started out with sustainability, the prevailing wisdom was that doing good came at the expense of doing well. There was a trade-off. You could not do one without sacrificing the other. What we found, of course, is that sustainability really was about taking out waste. Whether that's recycled cardboard, using less energy, or removing the middleman between farmers and customers in growth markets. Believe me, there are few things that get Walmart people more excited than eliminating waste. It's great for our business. It's great for our customers. Walmart simply does not believe that customers should have to choose between sustainable products and products that they can afford. In fact, people kind of looked at us funny when we asked, why does it cost more to make a laundry detergent that contains water, food with fewer pesticides, or electric products that use less energy? The answer is, when you look at the entire value chain of a product, it is often less expensive to make that product more sustainable. I'd like to wrap up with some final thoughts about trade-offs. We're reading and hearing a lot about controversies in the energy sector these days. The issues of whether the country should build an oil pipeline from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. The issue of whether government should provide loan guarantees to energy companies. The issue of whether the process of hydraulic fracturing should be heavily regulated. So much of the conversation around these issues is about trade-offs. It's about choosing one side of the issue or the other and fighting as hard as possible to a draw. Of course, what's the outcome of a draw? Nobody wins. And in this case, the country loses. We have to recognize that we live in a complex world. It is not painted in broad strokes of black and white. It's not a game in which you either win it all or lose it all. What we learned at Walmart is to listen and to learn. And eventually, you might get the chance to lead. Whether it's a business or a country, decisions can be made in a way that moves us all forward. I know that. I experienced that at Walmart. And that is why, above all else, keep doing your work. Keep innovating. Keep thinking. Keep believing. And you won't just solve our country's energy challenges. You might just inspire us to be a better country. Thank you for having me here today.